The Metropolitan Police have dropped an investigation into alleged comments by referee Mark Clattenburg towards Chelsea's John Obi Mikel and Juan Mata. The Football Association launched its own investigation that was going to continue after Chelsea made an official complaint to the FA that solely concerned Mikel. Clattenburg always denied the allegation that he used racial words. Chelsea's complaint came after the police had already begun its investigation and followed through an investigation which they claim was led by outside legal counsel and used information from interviews with club players and staff. Police said in a statement on November 13th, inquiries were made and no victims have come forward. The matter will remain as a recorded incident. Without a victim and or any evidence that any offence has been committed, the matter cannot currently be investigated. And you know what? They're right. The Met Police are right on that one. But carrying on, the Society of Black Lawyers criticised Chelsea and the FA after the police investigation into Mark Clattenburg was dropped. The Society of Black Lawyers made a complaint to the Metropolitan Police based on media reports of the alleged incident. The Society of Black Lawyers chair, Peter Herbert, criticised Chelsea and the FA for not going to the police. Herbert said in the statement, "It would appear there is a cosy little agreement between Chelsea FC and the FA not to report these matters to the Metropolitan Police, but to have them dealt with solely by the FA. The FA have a dreadful record of indifference on hate crime generally, failing to challenge anti-Semitism at Tottenham Hotspur and at other grounds, eventually finding John Terry made a racist remark, but remarkably found him not to be a racist, whilst the derisory penalty of a 4 or 8 match ban is on, obviously with reference to Suarez, is believed to be a suitable punishment for in what any other industry would be a summary dismissal for gross misconduct." Now, the FA cleared Mark Clattenburg over the Chelsea abuse claim. Now, the FA's decision to drop the case hinged around the fact that the only witness of the alleged abuse, Brazilian Ramirez, does not speak English as a first language, and that other players who were closer to Clattenburg at the time, including Mikel, heard nothing. Chelsea, from Tuesday, November 27, 2012, regret handling of Clattenburg case. Chelsea have expressed regret over their handling of allegations against referee Mark Clattenburg after a Premier League match last month. Chelsea also stated they were sorry for the intense media scrutiny Clattenburg was subjected to following the game against Manchester United, in which they complained about inappropriate language the referee had allegedly used towards their Nigerian midfielder, John Obi Mikel. You know what, yeah? What I will say is this. G-Man, what was it you were saying about the Society of Black Lawyers? Wasn't it the Society of Dumb Black Lawyers? Who I mean, we've spoken about the Society of Black Lawyers a lot off air. And now, the Society of Black Lawyers is an odd name for anything anyway, because whenever you put a racial angle into a name, you're almost inviting people every time you complain about something to say that you're playing the race card. So you're kind of burning your own bridges. You're painting yourself into a fence. I don't know how many other cliches about backing someone into a corner I could get. But at the same time, I don't know about you, but before the Mark Clattenburg allegations, and that is all they were, by the way, they were only ever allegations. To the parasitic media, to all of the newspapers that were putting the pressure on Mark Clattenburg, basically saying that he was guilty. Listen, in this country, I would like to say this to all the tabloids, all the crap rags, dirt sheets, legitimate online bloody news media outlets. You people are disgraces, and not the funny Didier Drogba kind of disgraces. The fact of the matter is this: in this country, our legal system is innocent until proven guilty. You hear that? Innocent, not guilty until proven innocent. The fact is, these media outlets and a lot of morons who take what they say as gospel need to realize it's innocent until proven guilty. The intense media scrutiny on Mark Clattenburg was Chelsea's fault, and it was all Chelsea's fault, because you know what? Chelsea didn't need to go public with that. They didn't need to, because at the end of the day, Mark Clattenburg now has the stain that's going to follow him for the rest of his career. Even though he was found innocent, every time something happens now, it's going to be like, was there something racial behind it? Was there something? And that is not fair. You know how the parasitic media are in this country, and a lot of morons in this country will be like, he did that, he must have done that. The whole thing was an absolute disgrace. Chelsea, you shouldn't have gone, but you shouldn't actually have gone public with that. And it's as simple as that. And the fact of the matter is, I love the fact that Mikel didn't hear anything, even though the alleged comment was aimed at him. I don't know where Ramirez comes from whistleblowing. Man, it's one of them ones. Where did Ramirez come into this conversation? This dude was whistleblowing, and it's like, wait, hold on a minute. If he doesn't take offense to it, why have you just taken offense to it? And the fact of the matter is, the comment wasn't even directed at you. So what the hell have you got to do with it? Ramirez needed to shut his face because it was nothing to do with him. If he gets asked, did you hear anything? Then you come forward. You don't just come out throwing allegations willy-nilly everywhere. Because you know what? It wasn't fair on Mark Clattenburg. It really wasn't fair, because he was on some games he was kind of taken off for his own good, but then he had to have somewhat of a self-imposed sabbatical because of all the pressure. Mate, it's disgraceful the way it was dealt with. And by the way, the Society of Black Lawyers saying, oh yeah, it's a nice cozy thing between the FA and Chelsea. Mate, the Society of Black Lawyers, mate, I had never even heard of you guys before this John Terry FA case thing. So I don't know where you guys have come from. But you seem to have come out of nowhere, and you're supposed to be the Society of Black Lawyers. Why are you jumping on to other things such as the whole anti-Semitic thing with Tottenham Hotspur and that kind of thing? Why are they jumping on that? Like I said with Ramirez, it's nothing to do with you. That's not your fight. If you're going to call yourselves the Society of Black Lawyers, first and foremost, I take offense to that, because you ain't representing me. I am black, of course, as you can see by the videos on youtube.com/Pitch Talk and live right now on the feed on youtube.com/Pitch Talk. I'm black and very, very, very proud of it. But the Society of Black Lawyers do not represent me. Just because they have black in their title, they don't represent me. Just like the Ku Klux Klan don't represent every white person out there. I just don't like the way the Society of Black Lawyers seem to be piggybacking on every case lately. And that's all they did to me. But the fact is, the fact that Clattenburg has been proven innocent, now we need to move on from it and let it run. Simple as, for me. But G-Man, Chezzy, what do you reckon?
Well, you know what? Just to add to that, I say very well said, Liam. But just to add to that, I think personally, Chelsea are the only ones to blame in the situation. You know, I can't really blame the media, because the media are going to just jump on it anyway, and that's what they're there to do, try and unravel the truth. And you know that they're parasitic, been saying it for ages. Oh, yeah. That's what they're going to do. You know that's what they're going to do. Chelsea should have known better to allow stuff to get into a domain where it's going to be flung about by any and everybody, the Twitter domains, the media domains, and, you know, it's a 50-50 choice from that minute there. It's either you agree or you disagree. It's either you're calling him a racist or you're not calling him a racist, unfounded off the facts. True. But the Ramirez thing, again, it's Chelsea's fault, because at the end of the day, if Ramirez has come to them, yeah, and said something, just like what Man United done with Evra, they didn't go around running around spurting out whatever.
Well, Evra did at first.
Evra did,
because he went shooting his mouth.
Evra did. Man United didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Man United didn't. Man United tried to wipe up the situation, which Evra did spill over, but Man United tried to wipe it over and just let the FA deal with it. Yeah. Chelsea, on the other hand, went totally opposite direction. Yeah. Rather than just letting the FA get on and deal with it, Chelsea were just, like you said, nattering. Yeah. And it obviously has caused some discontention between, you know, I just don't know how to put words to it. But you know what? Clattenburg has been found innocent. Yeah. And you know,
and that's the end of it.
And that's the end of it. Yeah. At the end of the day, I personally believe Chelsea need to be paying compensation to Clattenburg and making a public apology with saying that they're going to pay compensation at the same time. Yeah. Personally.
Because that's the one thing that is missing from all of this. We express regret in everything going public. We express regret for Clattenburg having to miss matches, but there ain't no apology in there. That's the big thing that's missing, and Chelsea are mocking. There's no apology in there. As much as people tried to castigate Liverpool, including you, including Jesse Fizzle as well. It's one of them. As much as people castigated Liverpool over the whole Suarez thing and the handling of that, and the fact that there was no apology. Not for a while anyway. Mate, Chelsea ain't come out and apologized to Clattenburg for something that was actually unfounded. For allegations that had no foundation. So basically, mate, this is one of them was Chelsea need to be apologizing. Because we express regret. No, just apologize to the guy. You made allegations, they were found to not be true. Just apologize to the guy and be done with it. But Jezzy, what do you reckon of this, man?
No, I have to say that I agree with the G-man. I agree with him 10,000%, which doesn't always happen. But on this particular occasion, I have to say that I do. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous that, like we say, after Mark Clattenburg has been found to be innocent, right, there's no apology. Like, the whole thing is just gone and basically tarnished Mark Clattenburg's name as an individual. Put him to be biased against Chelsea in the public eye in terms of as a sporting official. And there's not been any, retribution paid to him for that, when it's been all found to be, for all intents and purposes, false, right? And then you look at everything in itself, right? As far as I understood this whole thing, he was supposed to have gone and made a comment to and or about John Obi Mikel. If he's gone and made a comment to or about John Obi Mikel, right? Especially at a time when John Obi Mikel is like literally less than 3 feet away from him.
Yeah.
How is it that John Obi Mikel has heard nothing?
Yeah, exactly.
How is it that nobody else knows what he said?
Yeah. And Ramirez's first language ain't even English.
Ramirez is your only witness, supposedly, and still can't tell you what he said, irrespective of whether he speaks English or not, because that's not what we're talking about. In regards to him being a witness, it's a matter of, can you just repeat what he said? Tell me what he said. You don't need to know what it means, just tell me what he said.
Yeah.
And he can't do that. So what was all of this based on?
Exactly.
Right? So I'm like, how have the FA not decided to go and punish Chelsea for that as well? That's what I want to know. Because right now they've just gone and taken one of their officials and strung him up and basically said he's a racist. That's what's happened, right? And then of course you go and get the Society of Black Lawyers, and I shouldn't really be laughing, but it's absolutely hilarious to me. They chime in, right, talking about it's something cushy. This is the difference between the Luis Suarez, Patrice Evra, John Terry, Anton Ferdinand thing, yeah? Especially the John Terry, Anton Ferdinand thing. No one else has complained and taken it to court. Yeah? That's why the police aren't going to bother to get involved. No one called them.
Well, it's the Society of Black Lawyers who made a complaint to them, but this is another funny thing that myself and the G-Man mentioned off air. Mate, the Society of Black Lawyers actually made their complaint based on media reports. Yeah, I know why you're laughing, G-Man, because that's moronic. That is moronic, and that blatantly that says it all. That's why I'm saying the Society of Black Lawyers does not represent me, because, like Jezzy, G-Man, you know how I am. Unless an article's got direct quotes from someone, I believe it to be rumor and supposition. And that counts for football, that counts for anything. Because unless you can back up a claim with quotes and facts, then it's not, then all it is opinion. And you can't promote opinion as fact. You can't perpetuate that. But the fact of the matter is, the fact that the Society of Black Lawyers, although the club did not include the police, the Society of Black Lawyers, SPL, made a complaint to the Metropolitan Police based on media reports of the alleged incident. That's the thing. That's basically Chinese whispers times 10. Media reports based on an alleged incident.
Yeah, I mean, at least, you know, the major difference with the John Terry Anton Ferdinand thing was there's video footage. Yeah, but you could clearly see him saying something to him, right? How you then go and interpret that is whether or not, you know, you're a lip reader, etc., blah, 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 right? But for them to go and base it off of that, look, I'm not surprised that they was told, nah, nothing's going to happen. What have you got? Right? And even then, you lot are supposed to be lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. It's even worse.
You're supposed to be lawyers, and then you're going to go and complain based on something like that. What did you think was going to go and happen? Like, honestly. Okay? But this is the other bit I'm going to say about this before I finish, right? Controversially, what I believe about this whole situation with the Society of Black Lawyers and this non-incident is this. I honestly feel like they're leeching on the big incidents in football to try and just gain some sort of attention.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course. Because I hadn't heard of them.
I believe that. Because prior to the John Terry and Anton Ferdinand incident, where were they? They weren't even talking about the Patrice Evra Luis Suarez incident, which, to be honest with you, they probably would have had more of a claim on.
It's
right?
true.
Especially when you go and see what some of the fans are doing at the time.
Yeah.
And that's not me harping on about it. It's just me saying that there's more concrete evidence for them to go and latch onto to go and say, actually, you know what? We're going to be Patrice Evra's British representation. You know, here's one of our top guys who's going to go look after him because we feel so strongly about the case. None of that happened.
No, of course not. Of course not. Because I mean, they're publicity junkies. They're like they're coming. They're looking like Katie Price at the moment, but the publicity whore. Because at the end of the day, it's like before what, a month or two, like literally, let's say 2 months ago. Had you ever heard of the Society of Black Lawyers?
I honestly have to say no.
Same here. G-Man, had you heard of the Society of Black Lawyers 2 months ago?
No.
Says it all. Says everything you need. But you know what? Speaking of saying everything you need, Lily Alumi, you've been waiting with zen-like patience. With zen-like patience. You wanted to have your opinion on the Clattenburg issue.
Yeah, just like what you were all saying about, the worst thing about it is Chelsea are the ones to blame, like G-Man was saying, but the worst thing is they haven't apologised. That's what annoys me. They need to apologise to Mark Clattenburg for what they've put him through.
Definitely. And at least an offer of compensation.
That's the worst thing about the whole thing.
No, definitely. Definitely. Chelsea showing once again they have no class. But then again, well, it's one of them ones. It's like what some people have said about the wrestling business. You can't expect integrity. It's one of them ones. They are some. I mean, Chelsea to an extent as a club. It's one of them ones. They are pretty low in a sport full of low people. And I've heard that said about the wrestling business, so I will say that.